Hello everyone, my name is Nigel Tuckman and I'm gonna help you play the A-flat major scale. Now this is a little bit different scale. It has a whole lot more flats than you're used to, so you might want to use the instructional video that Mr. Cohn has provided for you, especially paying attention to the part that says the first 4 notes. Those 4 notes are the most difficult part of the scale. Ready, go. That 4th note is very weird. So make sure that you practice those 4 notes and get them exactly perfect. Now I shall take you through the flutes. So flutes, first thing you have to notice is how many flats there are. There are 4 flats, as you can see. B flat, E flat, A flat, and the one that is the most new and difficult and odd is this one right here, the D flat. Now you might be like, how do I finger a D flat? Well, let me show you. You open up your fingering chart and you come over to where you see D flat, not a D, because it's got a flat next to it right there. And you'll notice that the D flat only uses the pinky. So make sure as you master the scale that you play that note as a D flat, yeah? Okay, let's move on to the oboe. Oboe, same thing for you. You have 4 flats in your key signature. But here is the thing. You're not allowed to use both right pinkies in a row. You have to alternate your pinkies. So you might want to do some pinky workouts like this, maybe. You can sing Sweet Dreams to yourself by the Eurythmics. If you don't know how to play the left pinky E flat, that's when you open up your fingering chart and you find it. So I look over here at my fingering chart and I find D flat. And I see that there are 2 ways. This is the right pinky, this is the left pinky. So you will play E flat with your left and you will play D flat with your right. So that is your right pinky. This one is your left. Make sure you use that. You have to do the alternating. You can cheat by using the same pinky in a row, but again, that's cheating. And don't cheat. Next, let's go to the clarinet, shall we? Yeah? Alright, I think that's a good idea, Mr. Nigel Tuckman. Okay, so we get to our A flat scale and we see that we have 2 flats in our key signature. That means B flat is going to be played with first finger. When you have a flat, that means first. Here is that weird one, that E flat. It is not a D flat. Many students get that mixed up and they play the wrong one. Let me show you what I mean. Here is an E flat right here. That is the new note in this scale that you need to use. Now, I do not like this one. It is the easiest one to use, but it is very, very out of tune and very, very bad. Okay? It is very much like the trumpet section. Very bad. So, just kidding. So, what I suggest you use is this one. This is my favorite one. It uses the side keys right here. It is the bottom side key right here, and I suggest you use this part of your finger. Don't curl your hand in like that. Don't use the tip of your finger. Use this. That way, these fingers can still press down these holes. Okay? See how my fingers move real easily between them? So I would use that fingering. Yeah? Okay. That's great. I'm glad we're having this conversation. Now this B flat up here is the easy B flat to use. It's just that throat tone one though, so it's gross. So make sure that you try your hardest to make it sound pretty. Just like me, I am very, very pretty today. I think my bandana is the prettiest thing I have ever seen in my life. Alright, let's go down to the alto saxophones. Alright, so alto saxophones, what I suggest you do You have a flat now. You never have seen flats in your key signatures in any other key yet. So make sure that you play this note right here as a B flat. But this is a special fingering for the B flat. You should use what's called bis B flat. So I don't have a saxophone here, but you can press down with just one finger, just your index finger, these two buttons at the same time. Just if here's a circle and here's a circle, you just put your finger in between them and it presses down both. That way you actually don't have to memorize a new fingering. When you get to a B, you still only use first finger. It's actually very easy. It's just slid down a little bit. All right? Yeah. Okay, great. I'm glad we had this conversation. Next, let's go to the trumpets. Trumpets, you also have two flats in your key signature. Whenever you have a flat, that means a B is going to be played as a B flat first. Flat means first. So this very first note right here should be played first button. Now here is the other note that is flat right here. That one is very, very odd. All right. It involves your third finger. It is fingered 2 and 3. So when you get to this note, you go B flat, C, D, E flat. You have to leave your ring finger down. Whenever you involve this third finger, it is more difficult. So don't worry if you are having trouble at first. Maybe you just practice those 4 notes over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you get it correct, because that is the correct fingering. Okay, yeah, I'm glad I could help you out with that one. Let's move on to the French hornophones. Alright, curvy instruments. You have 3 flats in your key signature. Again, you are not used to seeing 3 flats, and this is a higher scale for you. You have to go all the way up here to a high E flat. Now, here's a little secret. I do not know my French horn fingering super well, but one thing I do know is how to use a key signature. So when I get to notes I'm not sure about, I know how to do an E flat. I learned that a little while ago. I know how to play an A flat. I know how to play a B flat. But once I get up here, I'm not really sure what to do. So I open up my fingering chart, yeah? So here is a fingering chart. So we all know how to play a C. We've been playing that for a little while, so I'm not going to help you with that one. But how about this D right here, the 7th note of the scale? If you're a Caden Smith, then you shall use no buttons at all, but you already know that, I believe. If you are someone other than Caden Smith and you have a double horn, you use your trigger and 1 and 2. If you then, when you get over here to the high E flat, this might be the weirdest note. You might not know how to play this one yet. If you are a Caden, you shall use 2nd button. If you are someone other than a Caden, you shall use trigger and 1st button. That is how you play a high D flat. So that shall help you play those fingers correctly. Let's go on to the low brass. Now, baritones, you can take the same thing I told the trumpets as far as fingering. So if you need to go back and watch the trumpets, you can do that. Because I'm going to talk to the trombones mostly right now. So trombones, you have 4 flat. Oh, it's the wrong scale. I'm sorry. That's the F minor. I feel so foolish. I bet I look foolish too. You have 4 flats in your key signature. A flat, B flat, and here's the weird one, D flat, E flat. Don't forget the octave right there. So D flat, that is not a regular D. It is not 4th position. It is not 4th position. A D flat. Let's look at our slide charts. Oh, how do I know how to which slide position a D flat is. I'm not sure. Oh, look, the answer is right here on my slide chart. D flat is 5th position. Oh, weird. 5th position is very, very strange to me. I don't play 5th position very often. Yeah, you're just like every other trombone then, aren't you? So play 5th position. Most people do not go out far enough for 5th position because you have to go from this note, which is 6th, and then you barely move from 6 to 5. 6 to 5 is very, very small. And then when you go to the E flat right there, that is that is 3rd position. So you go 6 tiny to 5, slightly bigger to 3. That is the trickiest part. If I were you, first of all, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm in the 7th grade trombone section. We're all so incredibly cool. Especially all of the trombone players. I don't know where I'm going with this one, so I'm just going to stop. What I would do is I would just practice these 3 notes over and over. 6, 5, 3, and get it sounding perfect. 6, 5, 3, over and over. Yeah, great. And last but not least, let's go with the tubas. Alright, tubas. Same thing with you as far as how many flats you got. 4 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat, and the weird one which is D flat. Tubas and baritones, it is the same fingering for you guys. It is 2, 3. So it is very difficult, like I told the trumpets, going from 1, 3 to 2, 3. This combination is actually quite difficult, which is weird because the woodwinds have different weird combinations all the time. So get used to it and stop your whining, brass players. Alright, so that is 2, 3. Make sure you do that. Make sure that you play A flat. It is even in the name of the scale right here. A flat major. So if it is an A flat, you must press down first button. Okay, so thank you everyone. Good luck on mastering the A flat concert scale. Goodbye.